So this morning I went out for a walk, and I always put something on that I listen to, whether it's an audiobook or a podcast. And I happened to stumble upon a podcast that was on Marcus Disruptors by Mark Moss. And he was doing, it sounded like a good debate between Brent Johnson and Len Alden, talking about kind of money and the different takes that they have, specifically around Bitcoin. But a comment was made that I found extremely interesting. And Brett Johnson, I guess he's from the Milkshake Theory, Santiago Capital, made the comment that the government has a monopoly on violence. And I was like, what? It took me back for a second, and I had to think about it. And he elaborated a little bit more, but if you really think about it, it is totally true. We do not vote whether we go to war or not. We do not vote whether we bomb another country or not. It is not something that we, the people, vote on. The government decides to do that. The president, Congress, whatever, they all get together and they make those decisions. Also, if people are rioting, the government can also decide to allow the riots to happen. You know, things that you've seen in major cities recently. They also, if you are having a peaceful march, can also sit there and make that march not happen. And if they, and that can resort in violence from the police forces and stuff. Now, the point to all of this is that if you think about it, it is a law that you cannot basically harm thy neighbor. You can't go over and punch your neighbor in the face without getting arrested or charges levied against you. And that is a great thing. But when you think about it, it truly is a monopoly by the government and the agencies below it that get to dictate and determine whether violence is allowed or not, and in what form and against who. And that kind of, to me, is a scary thought when you think about it. It does sure give them a lot of control over us.